Hey guys, Rexter here, and welcome back to a Poppy Playtime story breakdown. In today's video, we're going to be discussing the Chapter 3 antagonist and how important he is to this new religion that the children are being forced into. Not to mention the sacrifices that come with it and the horrifying lore that will change the way we look at Poppy Playtime forever. So if that sounds good to you, grab a snack and a drink, and let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this lore. So what better place to start than the ending of Poppy Playtime Chapter 2, as our protagonist takes what he thought was his final ride out of the Playtime Co-Factory. That is, until Poppy herself gets on the megaphone, telling him that he is too perfect to leave. However, shortly after, she gets cut off by someone or something, but more on that later, as the train begins to move at a rapid speed and our protagonist is left to do nothing else but stop it the best he can. However, it ends up crashing, and the last thing that he sees is the sign for the playcare. So let's start our journey here. What exactly is the playcare, and why is it so significant to the Chapter 3 lore? Believe it or not, we've actually come across this playcare in a couple other instances in the Poppy Playtime universe. If you'll recall, we actually come across a Poppy Playtime playcare sign in Project Playtime. And this sign explains a whole lot of details that you would probably have missed if you never tied them together with the Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 teaser video. You see, initially this sign looks innocent enough. Take every step like it's your last, and there's 3 different stuffed animals heading their way, even galloping their way to the playcare. However, there are quite a few details that I would like to point out. For starters, if you look at the bottom left-hand corner, it is no coincidence that Mob Games decided to cut off some words. However, they left the words "serious injury or death may occur. Take every step like it is your last." Meaning, if you make it to the playcare, you are most likely not going to make it out alive. And these stuffed animals actually foreshadow those exact events, but more on that later. You see, the Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 teaser video starts off in a blaze. And if you look closely enough, this is actually our train as it ended at the end of Chapter 2. With nowhere else to go, our protagonist is forced to go in to the playcare, and that's exactly the first shot that we see on screen. As we make our way through the playcare, there are definitely some disturbing images, not to mention the claw marks on the wall and what looks to be a sacrificial candle setup, confirming that Chapter 3 is going to be a proper horror game for the very first time in the Poppy Playtime lore. I mean, one glimpse at this trailer and you can see we're in for something that we just haven't seen in Poppy Playtime Chapter 1 or 2. However, one thing that is noticeably missing is the red gas mask, and not to mention the red gas itself from the Poppy Playtime teaser for Chapter 3. That is, at least until the end of the teaser, as we see what many people are calling a cat-like monster spewing the red gas from its nostrils. Now, this red gas is probably what they used to put the children, or the orphans in this case, in a deep sleep. But what is this gas made out of? You see, a lot of people have theorized that the red gas itself is made from the red poppy flower. Thus, the name of not only the toy factory, but also the company itself. But one interesting thing that poppy flowers do contain is opium, which is a powerful narcotic that causes drowsiness and a loss of consciousness. So what exactly does that mean for Chapter 3? Well, let's go ahead and do a quick breakdown of what we see in the trailer. For starters, there is a note on the wall that shows a group of children with the red gas coming towards them. And if you look closely, this red gas is actually being emitted from the purple object in the picture. Not to mention the words "time for bed" right underneath it, which verifies that this red gas is the last thing that these children see before falling off into their slumber-like state. But let's go ahead and take another look at the rest of the drawings in the Chapter 3 teaser. There is a drawing that says "he gives me nightmares," and another one that says "just like mommy and daddy before, they left me." So my theory behind this is that this is a place not only for orphans, but a way of harvesting their nightmares. And these same orphans were tricked into coming into the playcare with hopes for a better life. And this theory can actually be further proven. If you recall, I told you we would come back to that poster in Project Playtime. Looking closely at it, you will notice 3 different stuffed animals, one as a dog, one as a unicorn, and the other some type of bird. Now keep these 3 images in mind. If you look closely at the first dreary image of a child in the Chapter 3 teaser, you will see that there is a little sticker of what looks to be that same exact dog from the poster next to it. But what makes it even creepier is it is missing its head. And making our way through the rest of the video, we come across 2 other orphan pictures. One with that same exact unicorn, but there is also a green sticker that hasn't been seen in the poster. However, if you look closely at the picture on the wall near the words "I live to serve our angel of salvation," you will see this same exact green bunny holding what looks to be some type of tentacle of the purple monster, with the words "my new friend." So now that we can confirm that this creature emits a red gas that puts the children to sleep, what exactly is it? You see, many people around the internet have speculated that it is a cat-like creature, and others have speculated that it is a mix between a cat and some type of bird, which, don't get me wrong, I could see how people have come to that conclusion, especially with the claws and the scale-like talons that the creature possesses. However, if you ask me, I think this is a lot more simple than people are giving it credit. You see, these talons look very similar to that of a dragon, not to mention at the end, when the red gas comes emitting from the creature, it looks as if this dragon is letting off some steam. And even detailing back to the picture that says "time for bed," you will see this creature has giant wings. So if you ask me, my theory here is that this is actually a dragon that emits red poppy gas, to which the scientists then use the children to run experiments, even creating them and putting them inside of different creatures' bodies. And believe it or not, this can actually be further proven. You see, there is currently a Poppy Playtime ARG on the official website, and it gives you an incident report of a young child by the name of Mary Payne. Now, this name might sound familiar to some of you, as it is found in Transfer Request Experiment 122 Mommy Longlegs, and the subject of this is Mary Payne. It is this same request form that proves she was the child that is put inside of Mommy Longlegs. And if you watch MatPat's game theory video on this, he brings up a good point, stating that Mommy Longlegs was always fine with protecting the orphans, seeing as she wanted them to be safe. And the only people she ended up lashing out at are the staff, including our character. If you'll recall, in Chapter 2, she says we should die alone. She was trying to be a protector the entire time, as she's already suffered what these kids would soon experience. And she was so afraid of the prototype that at the end of Chapter 2, as she's getting sucked into the grater, she says, "What have you done? He'll make me part of him." And then her body gets dragged off into the prototype. Which brings me back to our ritual. You see, I think Chapter 3 is the start of a lot worse to come, as what lies on the horizons is a lot more evil than we could have ever expected. Thus bringing us back to the Chapter 3 teaser trailer number 2, as you see this giant blob-like creature and the mismatched toys coming from it. You'll notice the creature is completely still. However, with the candles being lit, it looked like it is almost time for our process to begin. If you look closely at this shadow silhouette though, you will actually see remnants of not only Mommy Longleg's body, but also her head. Not to mention, throughout this entire trailer, we see multiple dolls' heads missing. Or are these the toys themselves? One thing's for certain, there is something very evil brewing in the Poppy Playtime warehouse, and this giant dragon-like antagonist of Chapter 3 is just the beginning. My theory is that as we travel through the playcare for what could be the last time of our character's journey, we will discover the true secrets of what happened here at the factory. But the question is, was our protagonist involved? What does Mommy know that we have not figured out about our character just yet? Was he one of the scientists? Just a clueless worker? Or a parent coming back to set things right? Regardless of the cause, we are gonna find out really, really soon. As I believe this is all just a plan of Poppy's, the entire thing being a scheme for us to put together her final prototype, which could be, and it is just a theory, the reincarnation of the man who started all of this darkness to begin with, a shell to bring him back to life, and that is Elliot Ludwig, the creator of these toys, including Poppy herself. And what better way to pay him back than to bring him back? And let's face it, it just wouldn't be a mascot horror game unless our main antagonist always comes back. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Chapter 3, for the very first time, is going to be an actual horror game, filled with dark, horrifying turns all throughout. Not to mention a ARG that is actually somewhat terrifying. And I believe for the very first time, we will finally put these pieces together somewhat. But will our protagonist finally escape? Will we finally get a grasp of Poppy for the first time? Or will we once again be left with questions? Overall, guys, I cannot wait for Chapter 3 to come out, and it looks like it'll be showing up soon in December. But guys, that wraps up our video here. If you enjoyed it, do me a big favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well, and turn on those bell notifications. And I will see you in the next one. Till then, peace out!